welcome back to part 2 of repairs on our Portuguese homestead. As you can, well, I don't know if you can see in shot, we've actually filled the trench in yesterday. Oh, I'm just about to fill up my tractor with fuel. You might not think that's anything special, but it's the first time I've eventually got my Portuguese farmer's fuel card. Normally, if I put 20 quid in this, I'd get about that much fuel. So, and we've ended up with this much now, so that's going to help me immensely. And because it's based on the size of the farm, the amount of land that you've got, we actually get quite a massive allowance. I can't actually remember what it is now, but it's taken me a long time to get my card. You should get it in about a month from the application. They took the payment, and it took 3.5 months for me to eventually get the card. There was some error that they made on the form. It's all done now, it's all good. So I'm just going to top the tractor up, and then I'm going to open up another trench along the back there, which I'll show you in a second. It's where a section of which has created a lot of this repair. In the fire, it burned a section of the pipe over there, so I'll take you over there in a second and see what we're up to. Heavier than it looks. And it's green. Someone needs a new funnel. That's a lot more. Let's go and look at what Molly did yesterday, bless her. Here's the pipe connection into the ground. As you can see the bottom of the tank now. Well, I hope you can, the reflection. And the little white bits in the bottom is a smashed up chlorine tablet which we put in just to keep the water clean and to stop any algae growing, and it helps the filters at the other end. Just as I said that, a leaf fell in over there, which is why we're going to put a netting over this just to stop the leaves getting in. We've never really noticed any ill effect in the water, so because it goes, well, I've got that filter there, which is just a pre-filter to stop any silts coming in or anything being picked up from the bottom of the tank. Then there's another filter like that over at the house, and then there's a woven string filter which takes out really fine particles, and then we've got a carbon filter which takes out any smells or any other nasty things like that the carbon removes. So, and when we first came here and we were doing the building work, we employed one of the labourers from the builder on the weekends to do the odd bit of work for us, and he dug a line in through here. But, well, I shouldn't have paid him really. He must have dug it in the ground about that far, and you could actually see the top of the pipe. To save me lifting it all out and redoing it, I kept meaning to throw a bit more dirt over the top. I don't believe it. Look, there's a lizard. Apparently he'll bite you if you touch him, but they look like a worm. Let's see if we can pick him up, if you guys can see him. There we go, that's a lizard. I went to pick one of these up once, thinking this was a worm, a garden worm, because it was still, it wasn't moving like that. And the builder that I was working with at the time, he knocked my hand out of the way and told me, "Don't touch it, it'll burn your hand and make your hand swell up." Well, Sandra looked actually the other day and found the correct name. I'll put it up on the screen in a minute, and if anybody knows any different, please let us know what you think it's called. I don't want to pester him, but yeah, and she read that he would bind himself round things if he feels threatened, and I've obviously made him feel a bit threatened, so we'll leave him there. But, well, in fact actually I won't, because I'm going to plough along here and I don't want to kill him. So let's lift him up again. Come on, chap. Oh yeah, he's grabbed onto something in there. Come on, because otherwise you're going to get ripped to pieces. I don't want to Don't want to hurt him. There we go. Yeah, look, he's done exactly what Sandra found. He's wrapping himself around something. Huh. How cool is that? But come on, chap, I'm actually trying to help you, fella. Come on. I'm wondering where I can throw him. I certainly don't want him to bite me, because apparently he'll give you a heck of a nip. That's what Sandra found out anyway. It won't burn you, but it'll give you a nasty bite. I don't think it's got any teeth or anything, but I'd rather he doesn't bite me. Come on, chap, I'm trying to get rid of you. There we go. Up there. I've just thrown him up there. I don't necessarily want to kill him. So anyway, fire came in here and it stopped about here, so we're going to relay this temporary pipe we've had in, which is the one that comes from the little pump you saw us start yesterday, and then what will happen is, I hope this is okay, I'm doing this on my own because Sandra's with the goats and Molly, bless us, inside the house, and she's making more cheese. So I'm going to dig a trench along here to bury this the pipe there and reconnect it here. I think you can see where I've chopped it off, and then when we want the water to from the tank to fill this tank, I can change the setup of these taps here. The water will come along there and it'll come in this pipe and then into the tank, and that's what I'm going to try and get done today, and then I'll get back to finishing the little pump box that's going to protect the pump over there. Right, let's get to it. I'm going to take this off because I don't want to destroy it when I come through with the tractor to help myself again and dig out another trench. There we go. An orange, fresh from the tree. Oh, can't beat that. Right, well, as I think you can see, my tool's in the centre. I was going to make another sleeve that I could put on the side here to set it off the side. So I haven't done that yet. I'm just going to try and use the stays at the back to winch this all the way, well, as far as it will go. I don't actually think there's much more movement in it. In fact, there probably isn't. No, there isn't. Okay, well, we're just going to have to go for it and see that we get this as close to the bank as possible. Like we've said before, it shouldn't really matter. It's our garden, you know, this isn't part of the farm where everything has to be at least that deep, otherwise you run the chance of ripping it out of the ground. So, right, well, let's crack on with this. See how deep that's gone. Yeah, that'll be alright. Right, I won't make you watch me digging this out again. You've already seen me do that, so I'll bring you back when I've done it. Right, well, as you can see, I've dug the trench out. Molly's just brought me out a cup of tea, bless her, which I've just finished. And now I'm going to start laying the pipe down. I was finishing the end up there with the enchada, and I caught the edge of the black pipe and I've put a slit in it. So I've got to cut it and put a joiner in it. So I'm just going to line everything up and make sure I've got enough tubing before I start fitting the joiners on. And I'm just about to do that now. So, cheers. I need a bit more. Job we got more. Well, this pipe's got the wrong fitting on it on the end, so I'm going to take that off and fit it to this one, but the one that's on here, the pipe's too short, so I'm going to take this off, put it on the end of the other one. It's all good fun. I've not actually done any brickwork to the box today because of the goats this morning and some other jobs I've had to do around the house, and then I've come out to do this, and here's my man. Hello, Nobby. What you doing, mate? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, Dad? You faffing about the pipe still? Hey? Right, I don't know if people ever use these fittings, but they have this collar that you put inside. This one's broken, but you can still use it and it'll be absolutely fine because it's held inside the cup. So if you ever do these and you break one of these, don't think you need to go and spend another couple of quid on another fitting. You don't actually need to. Now I've got to take this one off of here. That's right, isn't it, Nobby? He's looking at me as if, what are you talking about there? Tube's not quite circular on the end. It's been stood on, or I've driven over it, and that's it. Just want to push. Hello, Tilly. Hello. You want kisses? Oh, you want kisses? Come here then. You want kiss? Oh, what's the matter? Hey? What's the matter? What's the matter? Nobby, out! Dogs have just come along and filled off me trenching. Oh, I love my dogs, but there you go, talking to you and the dog like that. Then your collar, and it goes on that way. You have to open it up a little bit, about an inch on the end, then the spacer ring, then the rubber O-ring, and sometimes these can be really difficult to do up. I normally put Vaseline on them and on the threads, but at the moment they seem to be going on all right. So that one, then this broken collar. You watch now. I've told you can use it. I bet you it'll play up. Shouldn't do. There you go, like that. There we go. And the O-ring. Knock off any dust. Because this side's got that bad clip. I'm going to put this side on first. Doesn't matter which way round you do it now. It helps to have some of these Stiltons to do these because they are big fittings and you won't get normal spanners to do it. Tight now. Right. That's those two done. I don't know how on earth I split this, but I managed to split it in a big Y. So I've just gone and quickly welded it up before it snaps off, so it'll do me another few turns. This has got a barb fitting on it, so I've got to take the Jubilee clip off. Huh. Creme brulee. I can't find my gas torch anywhere, so I've pinched that one. Don't tell Molly. Right, it's off of there. That should be alright like that. Put a bit of a bend in it. It's softened it up enough. Once it's on here, it will stay as we want it. Jubilee clip first, and then you'll be surprised how little you actually need to heat this up. But this is the way to get them on these fittings, which I learnt from the Portuguese. So now's always learning you. So Artie, you know, you just watch me do it. You don't want it to go soggy. Look at that, effortless. That's that done up. Oh, that is that in the ground. Whew. Nothing like wrestling a snake. I'll just set those on there. Right, that's about this lot done. A little bit more to do over there. That'll do there. I don't know if you can hear that in the distance, the goats are out. Some people have sort of said, oh, do we leave them in our compound because you haven't seen them out much? No, we don't. They're there in the morning, they get milked, then we let them out. They go out for about 3.5 hours. The girls walk them round, then they come back in. They normally want to go back in to have a rest and a lay down, and then we let them back out in the afternoon, bring them back in, and then we milk the girls again. And another tip, don't ask me how I know, don't fill it completely back in until you've filled it up with water and tested it, because you can find a leak. And if you find a leak here with our tank up the top, if we fill it up and you notice it going down but you're not using the water, on a place this size that leak could be anywhere. So I'll do a little bit like this, then we'll pressurise the system with the other pump, because we've got to fill the rest of this tank up here, which is now, instead of going over the top of the tank, going to come along here to the taps you've just seen, which I can close, and then it'll force the water that way and up and over on the other pipe we've got there. Right, and this is the pipe the water's eventually going to come through. So what I want to do, again, I'm going to cut it fractionally longer than I think. Yeah, a little bit too long. I'd rather it was too long than too short. Do that all over again. I've been promising myself to do this bit here for years, just sort of up in the air. We can bury this a bit later. It doesn't need too much to heat that tubing up. I'm going to put both on, because then I won't forget when I come to do the other pipe, which is easy enough to forget. Right, well, I've just been down to the bottom and restarted the pump to give the tank a second fill, because we normally, the tank that's over there, the pickup tube of the pump only reaches half the depth of the tank that's over there, so half of that tank equals about half of this one, so we leave it till the next morning till it's filled back up, and then we fill it again. And we got water. And the joints look like they're not leaking. Yeah. Right, that one looks good. Trust me to go and split the pipe with the shard and have to put another fitting in it, but hey-oh, that's life. And that one's bone dry too. In the morning I can fill that back in and fill in all the trench again with the bucket of the tractor, just to save my back. Well, I'm happy with that. So looking quite good. I'm chuffed. So that's the end of the video of part 2 of repairs on our Portuguese homestead. Today I've been in here doing the rendering, which is why I've got some of my wooden pieces here, because I'm desperate to get back in my workshop. This is a olive wooden bowl that I turned on my lathe from parts that we salvaged from the burned olive trees. Obviously these bits weren't burned, but any bits that were not burned we cut and we stored them. So, and I sell these on the internet. At the moment we're only selling via our Facebook page. I think I had this one on there for a little bit and then I took it off because we were trying to make a Wix website, but we couldn't quite afford to open the website at the moment to take the payments. You can have things on there as a website, but to sell, I think we had to pay 200 euros or something at the time. We just don't have the money to spend on the website, but with a little bit of luck, and thanks to our patrons, well, that's another thing. Gerard and Clara, I believe it's Clara, I'm going to have to check my paperwork. Yes it is, it's Clara. Thank you ever so much for joining and becoming part of our Patreon family. We really appreciate that. As a Patreon, it's on there. I think if you've become a Patreon you might well have seen it. You'll get 10% off all our products, and that includes your cheeses,
soaps and every other product we produce on the farm.
Yeah, and at some point hopefully we'll get the website fired up, but if anybody's interested and wants to see more, if you go to our Facebook page, there should be a link on our home page and there'll be a link in the description below. If you go through the pictures that we've got on our Facebook page, you'll see many of the products that I made. There's some bits here, isn't there, that we want to show some people.
This one isn't for sale. This was my 17th birthday present from my dad, and it is a little acorn which I store my rings and stuff in.
Molly likes acorns.
And this little ring my dad also made from olive wood, which I store in my little acorn.
What else have I got? Just the last couple that I've got left, because I've sold literally about 85 of these now. Wine cork bottle stoppers. This one's made from mahogany. That's a little wine bottle that was made from olive. They come with Portuguese corks on the bottom. They're very nice. I even made hat pins. I hope you can see them in the camera. These are little hat pins and things. This was this is a tea light holder. I don't know if you can see the beautiful eye in it. And it was finished in shellac, which is natural products. What else have we got here? Oh, a little pot, another little wooden pot. If you can hear them, they push tight, they push shut, they don't pop off, fall off, keeping little rings or things like that inside.
Like my acorn.
Yeah. And this was just a paperweight that I made. I like this. This is made from cork oak, and it's got a lovely eye in it on both sides. Looks like a tiger's eye. So I'm desperate to get back in my shed in here. And what else were we going to say about the length of the videos, weren't we?
Yeah.
We just don't want to make the videos, the last few haven't meant to be 20 odd minutes long, but there's been so much to put in it, and we're concentrating on working, not concentrate so much on the filming, are we? So it tends to be a more spread out. If you think that they're too long or they're a bit boring, or you like them, please let us know, because we've had some comments that people seem to enjoy it. So, but I don't want to make them too long. If you guys are finding them boring and you're going to skip through them, I'll edit them down, speed them up, do whatever. Give us some suggestions, or just give us your feedback, please.
So leave us a comment and tell us your opinion on how you're feeling. So thank you guys so much for finally reaching 1,000 subscribers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And if there are any of you guys who are wanting to support a bit more, there is a link for our Patreon down below, and we are extremely grateful for all of the help we get. And we also have 2 new Patreons, Clara and
Gerhard.
I believe that's how I was hoping to
I
say.
hope I've pronounced it correctly, yeah.
If not, tell us off in the description below. Okay, and we will see you next time.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, bye.